one of you guys, Jasmine, has been kind enough to donate to the Raiden Shogun cause just in time. There is 21 minutes left on this banner and I've got the money, so I am just going to go for a final yeehaw on Raiden Shogun. We are not even close to pity, unfortunately, so I don't know that we're quite going to make it, but you know, every wish counts. We're going to do a quick count. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 61, 62, 63. So unfortunately, yeah, we're not getting the pity, but we can certainly give it a go with 20 minutes to spare. And we're going to single pull these because we're doing it that way. Fingers crossed we get the Shogun. Come on, eh? Come on home, dear. You know you want to. You know you want to. She's feeling pretty reluctant right now by the looks of things. Oh, you would do a damn 4-star weapon. I want characters, not weapons. Weapons are useless to me. Oh, not looking good. 6 is my favorite number, though. Yeah, good old Harbinger. Three. Chefrus. 2. And final wish. I have nothing left to give. I can do nothing but put my head in my hands and laugh. You freaking trolled, Luke. Nobody wanted you. Thank you, Jasmine. I appreciate you getting me to pity, or at least to get to my 5-star. So now I have failed the 50-50, which means the next character I pull for, I'm guaranteed. So we achieved something. Thank you, Jasmine. God damn, Luke. Why did I have to see your face? Dude, I left you back in Mondstadt, where you should have stayed. Hilarious, though, that he came on my final pull. Rigged? Methinks so. Ooh, we got some more wishes with 19 minutes to spare. Let's go. Let's start building pity. We can get a whole 3 extra wishes. Hold up. That other thing hasn't reset yet. No, it's way too early for it to have reset. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Friends are forever.
Okay. Let's go. 3 wishes. We could do a double Nahida situation. God, I think that was the best luck I've ever had. It will never happen again, only because it was not supposed to happen. And there we have it. Alas, again failing for the Shogun. At this point, I'm not even surprised. I'm a little disappointed, but not surprised, because I consistently fail to get her. And yeah, it's okay. Shao is up next. I was gonna pull for him. I don't really know that I'm going to necessarily get him, because I certainly can't get to pity. I just don't have the primer gems or the wishes. But you never know. Miracles do happen. And then we've just had the release of the banner for Chiori. So I assume she's going to be a 5-star. I'm going to be very disappointed if she's a 4-star. So she may be 5 stars. So that would in theory be the next set of banners after that. So we'll see. She has cool double swords, for the record. Super cool double swords. I don't even care that she's Geo. She looks amazing. So anyway, we did our best. There is nothing more we can do here with 17 minutes to spare. I'm not spending any extra money on this game, so it is what it is. Thanks, Diluc. Love you. I was about to say, hey, Lantern Might hasn't started yet. It probably starts tomorrow at time of recording, because it usually updates on Wednesdays, I believe. And Lantern Might doesn't start until later this week, on the 10th. I believe it's the 10th to the 20th.
Fireworks are for now, but friends?
And I'm saying that because I ducked in yesterday just to get my login rewards, and it wasn't active. So like, okay, maybe it'll be active this week. And then I log in today. It's a Tuesday, guys. It's already active! So, yeah, it went a day ahead of what I was expecting it to pop up at. I was going to do Chen Yu Vale. I was actually kind of looking forward to doing Chen Yu Vale, but I guess instead we're going to be doing Lantern Rite. Should I, though? Because I'm only going to be able to start some of the mini games and some of the quests. I'm not going to be able to actually finish them because it's day one. This is why I never do things on day one. It's going to take multiple days to unlock. Well, we're here now. Well, we're not physically here. We're clearly in Sumerian hush. But we can pop over to Leeway. Why are you screaming at me? Oh, the card games. That's all it is. Probably should have found out where the quest was. Oh my god,
cute.
buttons. I totally know how to press buttons. Hello, thank you. This one here. The what? Orioles? Baskin Spring. What is that? So apparently Orioles are birds? Question mark? Never heard of it in my life, but they're native to many places in the world. So, I don't do bird species. So, birds bask in spring, the heavens present auspices. Or shit. I've never had to say that word aloud before. Oh, you know what I mean. I know what the word is. You and Paimon return to Leo, preparing to take part in the annual lantern ride. Yeah, rub it in, why don't you? As expected, there are familiar faces to be seen as you walk around the harbour. But where on the harbour are we going to is the actual... Yeah, that's what I thought. Because my instinct is always to go here. Because we have the most access to stuff. There's the Adventurers Guild and then there's the Alchemy Bench. So usually I would just go here. But I'm like, no. Lantern Ride's usually down here. I'm so glad. My intuition was like, hold up. Just take a second to take stock. Okay, so who are we seeing? Who's the organizer of this event? I don't remember. No, something or other Mechanicus. Adeptus Mechanicus over in this corner. No, sad. I actually liked Adeptus Mechanicus. Anywho, who was it? I was looking for organizers, not Misk, but I guess we'll go with Misk. Ooh, hello. Really up Yuimia's alley. Excuse me, I was looking at the shiny.
And Charlotte.
Wrong time of day.
I never thought she'd see you two together.
Nice to see you again, Traveler and Paimon.
Oh, we're not interrupting anything, are we?
We always interrupt things, actually. Oh, the fire stopped.
Not at all. I wasn't in the middle of an interview or anything. I was just asking Miss Kuching about purchasing a kite.
I mean, to be fair, if you were in the middle of an interview, having it take place in the middle of like a thoroughfare, probably not the best location for an interview.
A kite? Are you buying some regional specialties to bring back to Fontaine?
Well, yes. And...
It seems you haven't heard yet. The theme of this year's Lantern Rite is kites.
Oh, so that's why Paimon has seen so many floating in the sky.
I hadn't seen any until this moment, but okay.
Liyue Harbor is always changing, so it is only fitting that Lantern Rite should change in turn.
Yeah, because otherwise the players are going to get bored.
The Qixing believes it would benefit Liyue to build on our own cultural foundation by embracing the technologies of other nations.
I don't like that.
After all, it is said that the stones of another mountain may serve to better polish one's own jade.
That feels very insincere, actually. It's a festival about your own heritage and your own traditions, but you want to lean on other countries and their traditions to shape your own. Like, that does not sound right. That seems actually to invalidate the entire point of the festival. Yes, as people you are changing and growing, but these festivals are more about where you've come from, more about where you are currently.
yeah, remember my business meeting with Tianquan Ningguang the last time I was in Liyue Harbor? That's what it was about.
I'm sorry, the pronunciation, I'm stuck back at the the pronunciation of a name.
But all I really did was use my network to introduce Lady Ningguang to some interesting people. I'm not sure that quite counts as fostering cooperation.
That's exactly what it is, actually.
In the end, we decided to combine Liyue's traditional art of kite making with Fontaine's mechanical vertical lifting device.
I don't think you should have. I think this invalidates the Lantern Rite.
Mechanical lifting device? Sounds pretty impressive.
And I'd like to reiterate something I said. Hey, there's a whopper flower kite. Over here. I'd like to reiterate what I said during the version live announcement. Special announcement wasn't live for me. Having a kite be put into the sky through this mechanical device and have it stay there invalidates, I'm using that word a lot today, the whole point of kite flying. Kite flying is the challenge of getting the bloody thing in the air and keeping it there. If you have a device that does that automatically for you, what's the point?
But don't kites just use the wind to fly?
Yes.
Why would you need to add something mechanical?
Exactly.
Well, you've actually just answered your own question, Paimon.
What if there's no wind? Then you don't fly a fucking kite. It's really that straightforward, cutting. That's the point of kites. It's not a little thing that you do whenever, wherever you feel like it. It's a treat from when there's a breeze. It's what makes it so special.
How high and far a kite can fly depends as much on the weather conditions as on the skill of the person holding the string.
Which is the point of kite flying. It seems like on two fronts here, the game's insisting on just like smacking things over the head and going, that's not how we want to do it. Even if that's the point of why we do it, we're going to do it this way instead, even though it makes no sense.
But as soon as there's no wind, you can only flail about helplessly like a sweet flower medaka out of water.
Exactly.
Experience doesn't matter at that point.
That's the point. I sound like a broken record.
Exactly. Liyue is now a nation ruled by humans, after all.
So,
It's about time we had the power to make a kite fly, don't you think?
the way she says that makes me think that Clutching has never flown a kite in her life, and therefore she doesn't understand the concept behind it.
Plus, the easier we can make it to enjoy, the more people will want to participate.
It's like fishing. If the kite's automatically popped in the sky and it can stay up there, all you're doing is standing and holding a piece of string. That's no different from fishing and holding a piece of string into the water. Where's the value in that? That's not a bad idea. It sounds awesome. It sounds boring. Where's the fun?
Right? I also thought it was a novel idea.
It's dumb.
Plus, it shouldn't cost much to do.
It shouldn't cost anything because wind is free.
With Miss Charlotte's help, everything has gone smoothly.
Oh my god, I'm
Our
getting
new
so
mechanical
incensed here.
kites are already available to purchase from a stall in the harbor. We're having trouble keeping up with demand.
I'm not like angry. I'm more baffled and frustrated. Like, how do the writers not understand the point of kite flying? That they've taken everything it stands for and thrown it out the window.
We also gave quite a bit of thought to the price. We didn't want it to be too much more expensive than a traditional kite.
Again, wind is free. It shouldn't cost anything extra.
Cool! Turns out you two and Ningguang like playing with toys just as much as Paimon!
Is a kite a toy? I guess it is.
Toys? They're not exactly toys.
They're a rich part of heritage, Paimon.
You see, Miss Kuching? That does seem to be everyone's first reaction.
It's a thing you do to have fun. You could kind of loosely term it a toy.
Although kites are
Yeah.
one of our most
Also what I said.
time-honored cultural relics, outside of their use in certain ceremonies, I suppose they're considered playthings more than anything now. But to me, there's so much more than that.
It's not just about you though, Kutching.
Think for a second about how remarkable it is that a flimsy paper kite attached to a string has the capacity to touch the sky. It is this slight piece of paper that also carries the weight of Liyue's cultural traditions.
I don't really find it remarkable, Kutching. I call it science. And weather.
There's an old poem that goes, "O kite born of paper, flying true and sound, a lone traveler wanders, just waiting to be found."
She's not gonna finish? Okay, I guess I'll finish for you then. Send them love, send them word, send them homeward bound. I get that we're trying to make kite flying this absolute profound act, but it's kind of not hitting. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the framing of this camera on the downward angle and making her hold her hand over her heart and drift off to this angle to look into the sky. It kind of feels too forced to really be believable and sincere.
In the past, poets from Liyue used kites to symbolize a feeling of longing, or evoke the peacefulness of idyllic rural scenery. If the people of today can derive enjoyment from this activity, they will not only be more likely to better appreciate the tradition, but also to pass it down to the people of tomorrow.
I think the problem she faces is that, but even by her own admission, the people of Liyue don't generally see kite flying as a traditional custom. They see it as a fun pastime. So I think it's hard for her to encourage the traditional aspect of a pastime people no longer associate with the heritage, if it makes sense. So she's like, they must pass it down to the people of tomorrow, but most of the people doing it don't really associate it with that tradition, which is sad. I'm not downplaying that at all, but I find her job really hard to accomplish when it's already past that point.
That's the Kuching we know, always thinking 5 steps ahead of anyone else.
Well said, Miss Kuching. I've learned quite a bit myself.
As long as you're willing to listen, I'm happy to share. I also know quite a lot about the various folk traditions related to kites.
Are these clips normally in her hair, by the way?
For example, whenever a kite blew away, people would say it was the Adepti that summoned the wind to take it away as an offering. That way, you can turn an unfortunate event into an auspicious one.
If that's how you want to swing it, sure.
What about something more fun? Do you know anything like that?
Is she saying that kite flying isn't fun? Whew.
More fun. Let me think. Oh, I suppose we should first talk about how kites are made. It's another one of our precious forms of traditional craftsmanship.
Isn't it just tissue paper in your world? That'd be quite fragile.
My grandfather told me that back when he was a boy, children learned the art of kite making step by step from their elders. First, you use the thin strips of bamboo to construct the frame. Then, you draw a design of your choice on a piece of paper, paste it onto the frame, and tie on the string. Then, you look towards the sky and release the kite to soar among the clouds. Some people write down certain names or desires on their kites, cut the string, and let them fly free. Others may place particular thoughts or meaning into the design itself.
If you were going to do the former, wouldn't you just do it like a... What do they call them here? The lanterns, the shell lanterns. Why wouldn't you just do that instead?
Are certain designs associated with certain meanings? I'm gonna jot all of this down.
Well, for example, kites in the shape of a butterfly typically symbolize freedom, happiness, or the desire to break free.
Fascinating. What else can you tell me?
The scissored-tailed swallow is the most classic design. It symbolizes good fortune and joyful tidings. Different colors also have small variations in meaning.
Are these commonly understood meanings and symbols in Liyue? Kind of like the language of flowers in Fontaine.
I believe so. Most have probably heard something about it from their elders at some point. If you're interested, Miss Charlotte, I have several books on the topic that I could lend you. They could be a useful reference.
Who are these nefarious people listening in?
That would be a huge help! Great! Looks like I've got the outline for quite the article on my hands.
What was with that close-up of Paimon looking pensive? I hope it goes well.
Perfect! We're gonna take a look around.
Then I'll show Miss Charlotte to my home for a little while. I almost forgot. The Ministry of Civil Affairs is hosting a kite flying contest on the night of Lantern Rite. If you're interested, you're more than welcome to bring a kite and participate. The rules are simple. Whoever flies their kite the highest and furthest within the time limit will receive a special honor along with a secret prize.
I've already prepared more than enough empty film for the event. I can see the spectacle already.
We'll be there with bells on.
Oh, Paimon was on board the moment you said secret prize.
Then I'll look forward to seeing your performance.
You bet! See you then! Wait, Traveler? Take a peek to your right.
So you are...
Do
no.
you see those two
Okay.
people lurking over there?
I had wondered if it was connected to the people, but she didn't say anything, so I was like, oh, this is just super awkward. But no, okay, she did see the people. Yeah, I see them.
Is it just Paimon? Or were they staring at us the whole time we were talking to Kuching and Charlotte just now? They seem fishy.
You know what seems fishy, Paimon? Is that they're specifically designed as NPCs that you'll interact with the event because they are differently created than the others. This dude here, if you would notice when he turned around, but you also when they did the close-up awkwardness of them being all around here, this dude had red in his hair. When someone has two-toned hair, you know that they're going to be a character you interact with. But also just as design, no one else has pants like this or a design like this with the coloring. So you know that they are going to be special NPCs. How sad it is that you can tell simply by their design. The teaching do attract lots of attention. Was it the teaching or was it us?
Huh. Well, yes, but something's up. Paimon just has a bad feeling. Do you think they could be treasure hoarders? They always seem to be stirring up trouble during Lantern Rite.
Well, they're not dressed like treasure hoarders, so that'd be the first smart thing they did.
Oh, Paimon's sick of waiting around for something bad to happen. We should strike first, you know. Foil their plans before they even begin.
Hi, people I've never met before. How are you? My small companion believes that you're up to nefarious purposes. Please tell me what you're doing.
You go right, Paimon will go left.
Yeah, that'll end well. Paimon, please don't accost strangers. It's very rude. I like how we had to get the J chamber in that shot. Can you please not annoy the locals? Oh, it's not open yet.
Oh.
Hi.
It is with such an air of urgency that you appear before us. Your comportment suggests you believe us to have committed some heinous crime. Perhaps you could enlighten us as to your intentions.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really think... What is the Traveler even doing? Why is she standing like that and looking at them in such a way? When she also was not going to go along with what Paimon said. So why is she standing like that? Oh, I feel sorry for these poor guys. Even if they are criminals, they've done nothing wrong.
Whoa, where did this fuddy-duddy come from?
Do you mean fuddy-duddy? You're accosting the poor gentleman.
You should be the one doing the enlightening, buddy.
Who just goes up to strangers and says that?
Don't think we didn't notice you eavesdropping. One look and we
I
can
like
tell
the
you
design.
were up to no good. Tell us everything, starting with your name.
They have no obligation to do any of that. They can just turn around and walk away. Oh God, they're older than I thought. Jesus. They're cool with the two-tone hair in their twilight years, so to speak.
One bears no secrets before two such as yourselves. You stand in the presence of the mighty and illuminated Adeptus, Mooncarver.
Okay. I was thinking it was quite weird. I thought the voice sounded like very striking and distinctive, and I was like, maybe I'm just putting too much, purpose onto this voice, because it's a very distinctive voice. I was like, nah, we haven't heard it before. We totally have heard it before, but that explains why these two old men are in Liyue Harbor, rocking two-tone hair and fancy garb. It also explains why he's speaking like that, which was odd to start off with. But isn't it hilarious that Paimon's like, ooh, those two are out of place. They must be criminals. It's like, Paimon! Yeah, there you are, Adeptus. Please leave them alone.
For the purpose of this foray into the mortal realm, however, you may address one as Hojong.
Hi, Hodang. Oh, Mooncarver. Yeah, that would also explain the talisman. Yeah. Oh, I love it. I love it. This is brilliant.
You kidding? That deer's got his head stuck so far up in the clouds, there's no way he'd humble himself down here with the rest of us.
It's like she's never heard Mooncarver speak before.
You may want to hold your tongue, Paimon.
Don't think that Paimon is gonna believe you just because you know her name. Let Paimon guess. You're supposed to be Mountain Shaper, right?
Indeed. Mooncarver and myself have descended upon the mortal realm for a visit. The two of you may call me Jiahu.
I mean, honestly, I don't understand why they haven't done this previously, or have they, and we just don't know about it. Because I think that the Adeptus absolutely should be regularly checking in with Liyue Harbor to see the mortals that they protect, how they're doing, how society is getting along without them.
Huh. Looks like you did your research. But in our experience, the harder you try to lead us on, the more likely it is that we've got a big fish on our hands.
Why is it so hard to believe? We know they have human forms.
We'll go straight to the Millilith and have you arrested for impersonating a death guy.
Why is Paimon such an idiot?
Preposterous. Utterly preposterous.
Right? I think Paimon should just hush. If you really are who you claim to be, perhaps you can prove it. Is the way he's speaking not sufficient? Is the sound of his voice not sufficient? Is the fact that he stands out like a sore thumb not sufficient?
Right. Tell us something that only an Adeptus would know. And it better not be some common knowledge that any person on the street could tell you.
Why can't he just tell us about our previous meeting? Right, I'm with him.
During the last lantern rite,
Here you
we
go.
gathered at Mount Hulao with Rex Lapis and made use of Cloud Retainer's supreme cuisine machine
We
to prepare bamboo
absolutely did
shoot
that.
soup. Perhaps you have some recollection? The flavor of that soup was more than enough to whet one's appetite. As such, Cloud Retainer assented to my use of the device beyond that singular occasion, providing other recipes to boot. Since then, one has dabbled in the pleasures of the culinary arts whenever time allows.
Culinary? Culinary? You hear something new every day.
Dabbled? Upon one's last sojourn to your mountain, did you not immediately attempt to hide the device behind a chunk of amber as soon as one's presence was known?
Did one not speak up on your behalf but a moment ago? This is how you choose to repay that kindness?
One is simply trying to emphasize the veracity of our claim.
I love it whenever somebody uses the word veracity. I really do. One of my favorite words.
That does not mean you should reveal personal matters so readily. They might think one bears no difference from Cloud Retainer. Forget it. One does not have the breath to waste on such petty trifles.
I suppose they really are the Adepti.
That might have been more detail than we needed. Seems like you two are the real deal, and Paimon, sorry for suspecting you. But, for beings as forgiving as yourselves, this is just water under the bridge, right?
Take it as a compliment to the quality of your disguise. Few people will be able to see through it.
You indeed have an agile mind. Cloud Retainer was not mistaken in her high estimation of you.
Speaking of Cloud Retainer, where is she? No, I take that back. I don't like her. She's wearing glasses. I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm not a fan of glasses. Sorry, Ziehu. I'm not. That's a personal thing. I know that it insults a good portion of the population, including myself if I want to see distance. But I don't know if it's just because the glasses don't suit me as a person. And so I have an inherent dislike for them because it just doesn't vibe with my face, which is no one's fault. That's just genetics. And so I then perceive to not like it on other people, or whether it's an aesthetic choice, because most things about visuals are aesthetics. And I just visually don't like glasses on other people. I don't know, not attracted to glasses in any way, shape or form. So having Cloud Retainer with glasses on it just kind of like diminishes her appearance in my view. Not that I've really studied her very closely yet. Oh, I should have done a test run. Too late. So I just don't like glasses.
Paimon's still curious about something. It's just, Paimon can understand why Mountain Shaper is here, but why did you decide to come to the city, Mooncarver? It's not really your thing, is it?
You're supposed to be referring to them by their Leowan names. Oh no. Oh no, what is the reason?
It is but an inevitable eventuality. Long have the mountains remained strangely idle since Cloud Retainer's move to Liyue Harbor.
Wait, did I forget something? She moved to the harbor? I clearly forgot that ever happened. Why? To look over Senha's training? To keep an eye on the harbor?
With Lantern Rite near at hand, one would expect Cloud Retainer to provide us with an account of the festivities in advance. Yet to this day, she has failed to appear.
Okay, why? I can't imagine it's an elaborate ploy to get the two of them to appear in person. There must be some actual reason as to why she has not done so.
Cloud Retainer is hardly the forgetful sort.
One must never rest idle in the face of that which demands action. And since our acquaintances dwell in Liyue Harbor, we had to travel here in human form to avail ourselves of their aid, Cloud Retainers in this case.
But a moment ago, one heard you speak of a mechanical kite of sorts. It appears the essence of the situation has hitherto revealed itself. Now it is time for one to retire back to one's abode.
Oh, come on, you haven't even spoken to her. You haven't enjoyed the delights of the Lantern Rite. You're leaving a bit early.
So, you're not looking for Cloud Retainer anymore?
Well, they found her work, so they assume that they've found her.
Perhaps there are aspects of Cloud Retainer's temperament that remain opaque to young Paimon. Given one's understanding, one can only imagine the anger that now consumes her.
Cloud Retainer is of a proud and arrogant disposition. She holds the belief that her skill in mechanics surpasses that of all others. One can be quite certain it is hardly with an open mind that she regards the arrival of this new technology.
Oh, that's right. They said it was Fontanian. I forgot that for a moment. Ah. Interesting. Or she's secretly working on something to rival it.
One surmises that she has shut herself away, refused all company, and buried herself in the study of her own creations. To call on her would only invite her rebuke.
Okay, fair.
However, if you do happen to cross paths with her over the next few days, do pass along one's regards.
Is it just me? I'm sorry. I've been noticing this entire time. Have the textures improved with this latest update? There's just something about these scenes that seems smoother. The light seems better, or is it the color seems better? I don't know.
Sure, leave it to us.
I don't know what it is, because I changed to 4K quite some time ago when I got my new monitor. That was like a year ago. But just now, it's suddenly looking crisper.
Have a safe trip back.
Are the
enjoy
textures just
scenery,
better?
And happy Lantern Rite.
Thank you for your kind words. We shall now depart.
Please stay.
We got all worked up for nothing, huh? All that trouble and it turned out to be people we knew all along. Well, it's still pretty early. Let's head over and check out the kite stalls. Paimon wants to see what kinds of kites we can buy to use in the competition. The bigger and prettier, the better.
The bigger means the more weight it will carry, which means the stronger wind you will require, unless you get one of the mechanical ones, which I don't recommend. Sorry. I just don't remember her hair accessories. Okay, so she's got a flower on that one. Yeah, I remembered the bow. I just assumed they were both bows. I did not recall this one at all. Sorry, Cutting. To be fair, I usually see you from the back. I don't normally see you from the front or the side. Get out of the way, dog.